Well, here we are, my favorite picking place. Dad's helping me find some bike parts because I'm building a railing that'll be infilled with, well, hopefully bike wheels and sprockets.
You should have been
chains.
here last week because we had 4 or 5 bikes and we just cleaned up. And
Dang.
So that's how it is. You know? Now you got to go to the scrapyard and find them. That's really where they are.
Yeah, right. I just came from there actually. I didn't think. Well, look. Speaking of bike parts, that's kind of cool.
It's a chain.
Look what you could find at Black Dog.
All kind of stuff. Mailbox.
But what we did find is this probably 1980s or so Schwinn. I'm gonna take that. And I'm filming this because this is the beginning of my hunt for bike parts for this cool railing I'm doing. So follow along. If you need anything else, come here to Black Dog Salvage, of course.
I don't see anything else today.
That's all right. I was a day late and $1 short.
That's all right. There's plenty of it out.
Well, let's get my bike. What we got? A Schwinn Continental. California cycle license. All the way from California.
That's top shelf. What do you call that with the handlebars down?
I think they're just like drop bars.
They have a name for these kind of, instead of like a mountain bike, it's a
like road bike
low
stuff.
R or something.
It's got the suicide shifters on it too.
Oh, yeah. Can you imagine?
I've got one like this, similar vintage, but it's still in working order. Of course, this is clicking. Could work again.
Oh, I bet it works.
Let's try it out. Oh God, it's working. I'm riding my new Schwinn that I'm gonna cut up into parts. Well, I'm gonna cut it up. Sorry. Going well. So I'm making this one, the big one first. So I'm gonna cut that post, cut these parts. Starting with the easy ones, and I've got my angles figured out. So I did a test. I drew this angle, I drew these in CAD, and the angle from here to here is 141.56 degrees. If you subtract that from 180, because a straight line is 180 degrees, you get 38.44. If you divide that, 38.44 divided by 2, you get 19.2 degrees. So 19.2 degrees is what you set your saw to cut this angle, because that's 19.2 degrees from the 90. It's a problem that I've struggled with for a long time. And Steve is consequentially wrestling with a similar build over there. Although I've had the fortune of drawing my stairs in CAD, which has simplified certain things, but it might also lull me into a false sense of confidence. Yeah. So we'll see what happens.
The challenge is accepted.
Yeah. Old school versus new school.
Actually, a good video idea.
It's kind of a good video idea.
Who can do it faster?
Wow.
Wow.
That's a matter of experience.
Yeah. Well.
Having done like one staircase, and building on a staircase, the one we did, that was a disaster, right? Like we had to rebuild it.
Oh yeah, the one at the fire station. Yeah.
Hell week.
There were some external factors on that one.
Yeah, there was some builder versus architecture.
Versus whoever the hell I am. Yeah, Jake and I actually took ourselves to school on that lake job, so this is far less stressful than that. But that one key, because a saw, when it's set to 0, it's cutting a 90-degree angle. So if you need to cut in this case, 109-degree angle, because the saw is already set at 90, you need to just set the saw to 19.2.
Very nice.
Bow, wow, no, 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 no. Yeah, man, we're on our last piece here on the railing. It's been going swimmingly. All my angles are working out exactly as they should. Everything I drew on here, I've been able to make come to life. The only thing that I haven't done other than weld that bottom piece in is cut my plates. There'll be plates on the bottom of the posts to screw into the floor. I've drilled my holes in here to mount this to the wall. I'll have to cap these holes. Well, maybe not that one because it'll be up against the wall. See, all this is fitting nice, nice miters. I left this piece long. I'll just have to slice that off at that same angle and then cap that. But yeah, simple math really. When you have a CAD drawing to go off of, you just got to translate those angles into something that the bandsaws can understand and that the fabricator can understand. But yeah, so quick shout out to Fireball Tool, Jason over at Fireball Tool. These mega squares are rad. You see here I'm using the interior angle. This was actually, I started by bolting that to the table as my 0 point to build from.
He's a subscriber, you know.
Yeah, that's right. Yo, your mega squares are awesome. So you can see how you can use them there. And then over here, for the first time, I use these little tabs that screw into the face. So you set the square and it keeps everything coplanar, meaning of the same plane. So this joint here is super flush as a result.
What a clever little tool.
It's really something else. Jason, you know what you're doing, obviously. You're a better fabricator than I, but a stellar gentleman. Yeah, and then, you know, we got our little jut out here to match that one. All my angles are right. Here you go. A little bit of satisfaction. Zoink.
Ooh. We'll do that again.
Zoink. So this is the big one. By the end of the day, this will be tacked up, and I'll stand it up, make sure everything's parallel and whatnot. So everything's tacked up. Cool. Let's undo the clamps. Stand her up. Big reveal. Ooh. Mega square. Remember that jingle? Anyone out there?
Sega.
Look at that. It actually stays right there.
Flat. Or coplanar.
That's right.
As nerds like to say.
Yeah. There better not be any nerds that watch this channel.
Actually, I think nerds has kind of become the calling card of our audience.
I like it. I like it because it's like anti-bullying.
Yeah.
Now, you know, like nerds is cool now.
Yeah, the word nerd has been reclaimed.
I think dork is still there.
Yeah. But you can be a nerd about anything. You know?
Right. There are people who claim to be nerds who are not nerds.
Yes. Yes. You know who you are.
It's like cool.
Yeah.
I guess I could run a little test like this. 51.5 degrees. I tell you what, man, they're all parallelograms. Woo-wee. It's perfect. All right, well, I'm gonna leave this one at this stage, and then I'll get the other one tacked up, and then it'll just be a good old welding fest.
Ooh-wee.
Y'all coming to Welding Fest 2023?
Welding Fest 2023.
Brother!
Brothers.
That's a Cletus McFarland quote. Actually, a direct Cletus McFarland quote.
Oh, really?
Brother! I can't, he owns that word on YouTube.
Well, he
Cleet,
might.
if you're out there, you the man.
Hey, better him owning it than Hulk Hogan.
Yeah, Hulk Hogan needs to retire.
Yeah.
I think he's passing the torch to Cletus.
Good.
Not unofficially, just because Cletus is rad.
Well, yeah, and Hulk Hogan is not.
Is he no longer rad?
No, I mean, it's just.
He had a scandal?
Many.
I can't imagine what they might be. See you in just a second. This is bad news to have this here. Alright.
That's how I know I'm out of
I need this pop. You're recording?
Yeah, just your side.
Look who it is.
Hi.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the team, Mr. Aaron Dykstra.
How's it going?
Be helping us out with some projects for a while here. There's Steve.
What's up, Steve?
Iconically, or ironically, the first project I'm having Aaron help with is to
I like
destroy some bicycles. Aaron used to make high-end bicycles. Cut to that footage where we talked about that. But we're going to continue on the railing here, and Aaron's going to help me strip some bikes. And then we're going to, I guess, weld them inside the rail. We're going to make some brackets and frames and stuff. But
It's pronounced sacrilege.
sacrilege. Yeah.
Jokes.
How's it feel, man?
Feels good.
Cutting stuff apart.
I'm not changing a flat on an old 70s Schwinn boat anchor.
Yeah. Spoken like a high-end custom manufacturer. Aaron's finding, if there is anything valuable, Aaron is attempting to find it.
Please not. We're good. I mean, value is
It's in the eye of the beer holder.
it certainly is.
I mean, for this project, it's really just, we need
Silhouette.
We need bike-esque things.
Bicycle shaped object.
That's right. And that's really all that's in a what is that, an 80s Schwinn?
70s.
70s
Yeah,
Schwinn.
so 80s. Yeah. Early 70s.
It was fun listening to Aaron's commentary about how it was built, because of course he hand-built these bougie bikes for a long time. And these are like pretty clearly hastily assembled factory bikes.
They just were budget bikes for.
And like you can see where they sped things up, I guess, right?
Indeed. I mean, they look good. They did a good job from that standpoint, but just
Yeah. Heavy,
pretty old tech.
heavy steel frames. That one would probably ride okay still. See, and all this, I wouldn't have known to do that. I would have just cut it in half. Oh, you can change the height? Is that what that's about?
Yeah, they got a couple different. So it's like a pinch. This is not original stem, I doubt. Maybe it is. Yeah, it's just like slotted. It has a little cone in there,
Spreads it
little
out.
wedges. But
So you can change, yeah.
a lot of failures can happen in the head tube, or in the steer tube rather, from over tightening these, because it just like keeps going.
Mushrooms
So
it out. Yeah.
that's kind of one of those little critical torque things. And often, because you have aluminum going into a steel steer tube on the fork, often get a lot of bonding and corroding and stuckness. So
Yeah.
that's good that came right out. I've had to sew quite a few frames in like gross Coca-Cola mixture to break that down before. It's no fun.
Yeah. Meanwhile, I am filling all these seams in with weld and grinding them smooth. And then pretty shortly, Aaron and I are going to have to come together on a plan for including the bike elements. I will say, I'm really missing a plasma cutter because I spent about an hour and a half yesterday
Yeah.
making 3 of these.
When it could have taken you, what,
10
25 minutes? Yeah.
And it would have been perfect. Like,
Yeah.
there's a certain handmade quality to these that I'm hoping the sandblasting and powder coating helps hide.
There's a 1974 sticker on here, so
Oh, really?
at least a date of that.
Ah.
Sacramento.
I guess
Pretty
you
cool.
have a
That is
bike
pretty cool.
license.
We got a lot of places to use too.
That thing's carried a lot of butts.
No kidding.
That thing specifically.
The smell-o-vision.
Yeah.
Look at the padding.
Oh, the way it's padded is just
It's all springs.
lengthwise springs.
That's cool.
There's like no actual cushion. It's just
No, I mean, there's a little foam, but it's all springs. It's actually kind of smart.
it's like a trampoline.
Yeah, exactly. It's a butt trampoline.
Yeah.
I never got why women's bikes have the down skirts.
Broads in their skirts, am I right?
Just call them skirts. Well, when I was thought like
Their skirts.
well, I always thought about like who has the more to lose when if you were to hit your crotch on the tube. It'd be nice if all bikes were like that.
It certainly makes sense. But no, dresses, skirts.
Makes sense.
Bronze in the sundresses.
Oh,
You can leave now.
My dignity. Awesome slow-mo shot.
So, it's time to do the thing we've been saying we're gonna do, which is fill the rails with bike parts. So Aaron is going through all the cadavers that we've had and putting everything that's usable, i.e. weldable, mild steel, good looking, huh?
Stainless. We got lots of
Or stainless, yeah, weldable to carbon steel without rocket surgery. So all this is keep and use. The rest of these buckets will eventually be filled with scrap and trash. Aaron's applying his discerning eyeballs to the things.
And a magnet. Magnet more than my eyeballs.
More reliable. So that one, big one here, we're gonna put on this big table and look at it as a blank canvas. We're gonna put this small one on that table. We will work on one at a time, but if there's any themes that we can pass between both sides, we'll sort of see if we can find some kind of symmetry. Because when you walk into the house, you'll see both of these railings. You know, you can walk in at an oblique angle, and so you see the inside of the left railing and the outside of the right railing. So we have four frames. Two are really cool. There's a red one and a blue one. So, you know, maybe the two bike frames are like climbing the stairs or descending the stairs. You have plenty of wheels and gears, and maybe some chain, some funky little relics of times past.
yeah.
Kind of neat.
I think it's sweet.
So yeah, this is the part that I've been wanting to do since starting this. But we spent a lot of time yesterday getting all the frames kind of dialed, smoothed, and essentially ready for paint outside of sanding them or powder, whatever route we go. I think we're gonna paint because we'd rather just weld the pieces into the frame as it is, and then just mask off and paint and then clear coat everything. But yeah. Well, Aaron, what do you think of the first one?
I like it.
You came around on it. Looks awesome. This is way cool. I love the tension you were able to achieve there. This part's my favorite. Love the wheel in the center. This was from your shop, wasn't it? Mm-hmm. Handlebars?
Dirt bars, prototyped. They'll scrap in.
Old Schwinn frame. Old Trek frame that Aaron found in his shop. It's cool brass. Handlebars, crank sets. There's a nice chain wrap around this one. So yeah, I wanted to set it up sort of in situ so we get an idea. Pretty cool.
So you want to do a chain wrap on that exposed
The right here. Maybe.
I mean, visually, I don't think it needs it. It's purely
Visually, it's cooler without it because you got this spiky sun shape.
Falling up the stairs kind of situation.
That'll pull your kneecap right off your leg, for sure. Yeah. So you can wait and do that last. So.
Everything back.
Yeehaw!
Well, here we are. It's been 3 furious days of butchering bikes and melting them together. So, this was Aaron's first project here at the shop. Well, not first on the channel, but I do feel like everything I bring you in to help you with, there's like an uncomfortable level of complexity to it.
Yeah, I'll take that. I'll take that all day.
What do you think of it?
I think it's done.
Yeah.
I think it's one of those things where you don't really have instructions, so you keep adding and taking away until you really feel like it speaks to you in the right way.
Try to avoid a kitchen sink metaphor.
Yeah. But I think we've accomplished something. Really excited to see it powdered. So it kind of just gives it a real uniform. But our big focus was spacing and getting everything, so you couldn't really fit a head in it. That's our main. There's no small children in this household, thankfully.
And they've already been made aware of the fact that it's not going to pass code, technically.
Yeah.
An issue that keeps coming up on the channel.
Yeah, man. It keeps getting ripped apart.
Yeah,
down
speaking
there.
of violations.
Yeah, I'm creating more violations. I think rhythm-wise with this kind of stuff, I usually just look for uniformity.
Yeah.
Like, it's hard to explain, but there's a point where it's like, okay, it's all the density, maybe, is the word I'm looking for. It's all the same amount of density throughout all the parallels.
And also, like,
No giant holes.
some degree of symmetry between the two sides. And, we put some consideration into what's the inside, what's the outside.
Right.
What would the drive side of the bike be, which would typically be the front-facing side.
Well, and there's just shapes that fit well together,
Yeah.
Just this, you want to center that in that
Circles and
triangle.
triangles, all the shapes.
Yeah.
And
Squares.
Well, to steal a narrative term, it's got nice flow.
hey, thanks.
Yeah.
It's that time.
Yeah.
What,
We're synced up.
what was the hardest part for you, Aaron?
Oh man, just gluing together 50 to 80-year-old metal on some of these things.
Yeah.
Like, it's not that old metal is any different, just that
Different
this
alloys.
different alloys. The aging process, all this stuff has been chromed
Right.
or plated in some kind, and that's
Or worse, zinc or galvanized?
Yeah. So there's all kinds of like nasty finishes on there that you got to be real mindful of. You got the air extractions going and the masks and whatnot, but getting that stuff, getting new metal and old metal and different alloys to kind of sync up, or sticking with that, can be a challenge.
And you went
Lots to
and
blow through.
you made these bridging pieces, which I was a little confused at first, but actually you were able to, new metal onto the old metal somewhere
Right.
else.
So just
And
kind of
then bring it-
sub-assemblies, which
Yeah.
Again, no instructions. I think that wasn't entirely necessary, but nothing too strong or broke. So,
Dog ate my instructions.
That looks fantastic.
we wrapped all the kind of exposed chain guards, just so not just functional, but also, or not just aesthetic, but also some function there, just in case you were to, if you
Yeah.
too many glasses of wine and trip going up the stairs, you don't have a horror film on your seat, on your hands.
I mean, we're not totally out of the woods on that front, but we've done our best.
Yeah.
They literally said wheels and gears, and so gears was one of their main requests, so. They know what
Get
gears.
the waiver sign off when we deliver this one. Enjoy.
Yeah.
Good luck.
Yeah. That reminds me of when I was working at food festivals, because so much random stuff could happen.
Oh yeah.
The employer literally just took a skydiving form of like, you know, a cover-all.
Yeah.
Like,
If the plane explodes, if your parachute
yeah,
fails, if
to
you
where it's just
become-
like, if you die, there is no way you can blame us.
Yeah. If you become pink mist, we are not responsible.
Yeah, exactly. So you might want to just hand over a skydiving form to these folks.
I had a couple blowouts on that down too.
Yeah.
Spots, but
Powder going.
good old powder.
So we got, what do we have? I got these at Black Dog. I'm not even totally sure they're from a bike.
They are for sure. I've got, I think, the exact same bike that came off of in
Yeah.
my shop. It's a kid's 16-inch.
They had hard rubber tires
Yeah.
on it. Yeah.
Non-pneumatics.
This is from your shop, yeah?
Yeah.
Some forks from Project.
That's
Ooh.
cool.
Hey.
I want to weld that solid. Or not. That'd be kind of cool if
I
it's
kind of
fun.
think not.
I think not.
Yeah.
I would vote no.
That'd be funny when the sandblaster hits it. It's gonna.
Oh, yeah.
Crank set from something. This is a bike I got from a friend of mine. It's a Hercules from England.
I love the labeling still on
Yeah, that label is gonna give its life for the sake of sandblasting. Wheels from who knows what. We had 5 bikes to pick from.
old
We just
Arias,
what he just went
26 inches.
went through and found all the steel, you know. So we had at least that covered.
A lot of bicycle parts, and that's kind of the reason a lot of these are older parts, is aluminum has replaced steel on
Right.
most of this stuff. That would have been fun to do an all aluminum version. And by fun, I mean absolutely horrible.
old porous aluminum is my least favorite thing.
Welding
about it.
Fanta cans
Oh
together.
my god.
Which I am determined to do someday. We had an old something or other. I think that was a Schwinn.
Varsity.
Oh yeah, this and this are the same. The fork from this bike over here. I personally, the square here is one of my favorites.
Yeah.
It's got this cool quadrant feel to it. Got some handlebars, a section of handlebar here, full set there, a nice complete gear set kinda. Aaron brought that from his shop, an old Trek frame, 80s.
That's the early 90s.
90s.
It's a touring bike that was made into a cross bike. A lot of miles on that bike.
No kidding.
Yeah.
And then just more discs and gears and cranksets. So there it is, tubular frame, all smooth, just 3-inch all the way around. Mounting plates to go into the wooden floor, holes to go into the wall. Customers real excited to get these. They're in Lexington. Big bike nerds. I know I've already said that, but it's kind of a perfect railing for some cycle enthusiasts. So anyway, next time we see ya, we will be taking these to twists and turns for powder. They settled on a silver anthracite, kind of vaguely metallic, kind of textured silver. And then we'll, that'll be in like 2 weeks usually is the lead time. And then we'll truck them out and cross our fingers that they fit. That was a tough, we modeled the stairs in CAD and then drew these on the stairs. Logic would say there's very little room for error, but this is real life. Full custom. It's gonna be a real bitch to realize they're the wrong size once they're all powder coated.
They're just gonna
I'm
have to
tempted to bring them out like this, just to
Test.
Do a dry fit.
make sure.
Well, they can rebuild the stairs, right?
That would probably be less labor intensive when it's all done.
Less complicated for sure. Well, dude, I'm happy to have you here on the
Happy to
team.
be here.
Yeah.
Already kind of doubling the output. I was able to peel off and finish some other stuff today, and
We're doubling the noise.
sure thing. Join the Patreon, buy a t-shirt, subscribe, please, and thank you. Love you guys, appreciate the support. We'll keep the shorts and behind the scenes stuff coming.
If you made it this far in the video, say hi to Aaron. Lots more railings coming.
This morning, we are taking the bike rails to the powder coater because we're done with them. So I'm emptying the truck. We're gonna get those out. That's one more thing off the plate. Aaron did a great job. I handed him a pretty complicated problem to solve. He has a little bit of the perfectionism syndrome, which is good. I'd rather have some of that than slap it together. I don't care. So I can work with that because I have some of that syndrome too.
Yeah.
I got the syndrome.
He's got the drone.
Cut to the montage. So what you saw me doing there was using silicon bronze filler rod with the TIG welder to weld up those holes. Silicon bronze has a much lower melting point than traditional steel. So it's really nice when you're doing really thin metal repair because it melts before the base metal. If you do it right, you're never having to technically melt the base metal at all. So being that this was really thin, we used it before anyway, but I used that here so that I didn't blow more holes in it than were already there. And you can see the different color metal. All that gold is all the silicon bronze, and the silver is obviously the steel. So I'm just following Anthony's orders at this point and sanding it smooth. Anthony, by the way, is the guy over at Twist and Turns, the powder coater. Sanding down as much as I can, trying to blend all that. I've got a line there where I melted it away. Trying to blend all that. But theoretically, they're not going to blast again. Blasting is what blew the holes in it in the first place. So we should be able to they're going to clean it. I'm trying to clean it as well. He said just clean it with glass cleaner. No chemicals really. And another layer of powder should do it. Visitor.
Hey, America, what's going on?
Be nice one day.
What? That right there?
Uh-huh.
Oh yeah. It ain't finished until you install it. It ain't finished
Well,
until you get paid for it. What's the deal? What's going on?
Sandblaster blasted through some welds, so I had to grind back, refill.
Oh, this is all powder coated too, right?
Powder coated,
so you
yeah.
gotta send it back?
Yeah, he's gonna repowder it for $50. Here we go. Install day. It's finally time. This thing's got more powder on it than anything I've ever done. We did it. The rails are in. Chad is over the moon, and as am I. I'm just so glad they fit. How do you feel about it, Aaron? Like them?
I feel good.
You're such a natural vlogger.
They feel great. Peace.
Oh man,
No, they're good.
Out here in Lexington, man.
They look fantastic.
Designing from a distance is really hard. You know, I had to measure the absolute crap out of those stairs, and then
It's not hard. It's the installing. After designing from a distance, super easy.
Yeah, I'll do anything wrong real well. No, they fit. I mean, with the exception of like a little bit of gap on either side because of the wall or the way things were. The screws sucked everything down. It felt great. Chad was over the moon. Chad and Aaron had a nice long talk about bikes. That gave me time to work in peace. It's all good. So successful
Cool.
install.
Another one
On to the
down.
next one. Thanks for watching. Bye.
Bye bye.